Please subscribe to this channel for more videos related to Catholic Christian teaching. What does the term sacrament mean? According to its etymology, the word sacramentum means a sacred or holy things. In Roman secular literature, the oath of loyalty taken by the soldier and the oath in general were called sacramentum. In Roman legal language, the word sacramentum means a pledge deposited in the temple by the disputing parties. In the Vulgate Bible, sacramentum is the rendering of the Greek mysterion. The word means something hidden, secret. In the sphere of religion, it signifies the secrets of God, and in particular, the mystery of the redemption by Jesus Christ. The term sacrament has biblically further meant sign, symbol, type of a sacred mystery. St. Paul explained this in his letter to the Ephesians, because we are members of his body. For this reason, a man will leave his father and mother and be joined to his wife, and the two will become one flesh. This is a great mystery, and I am applying it to Christ and the Church. In agreement with the usage of sacred scripture, the Fathers applied the word sacramentum both to the Christian religion viewed as a whole, that is, as an ensemble of doctrines and institutions, and to individual doctrines or liturgical institutions or ceremonies of Christianity. Tertullian applies the word sacramentum to the work of salvation, sacramentum oikonomiae, to the messianic salvation prefigured in the types of the Old Testament, to the contents of faith that correspond to the carrying out of the divine decrees of salvation, to certain liturgical rites such as baptism and the Eucharist, and to the classical meaning coming from military oath when speaking of the vow of Christian baptism. St. Augustine, proceeding from the specific concept, gives the following definition. A sacrament is a sacred sign. This was altered by the scholastics to a sign of a sacred reality. Further definitions may be derived from texts of St. Augustine, a sign that pertains to a divine reality, a visible form of invisible grace. The theologians of early scholasticism perfected the Augustinian definition of the concept by defining a sacrament not merely as a sign, but also as the cause of grace. Saint Isidore of Seville provided the following definitions of sacrament. These, baptism and chrism, the body and blood of the Lord, are called sacraments because under the covering of bodily things, divine power secretly works for the help of the same sacraments. Whence sacraments are indicated by secret powers or sacred things. Hughes of St. Victor. A sacrament is a corporeal or material element sensibly set forth, representing by likeness and signifying by institution and containing by sanctification some invisible and spiritual grace. Peter Lombard. A sacrament is properly called because it is thus a sign of grace of God and an expression of invisible grace, so that it bears its image and comes forth as its cause. The sacraments of the New Covenant are effective signs of grace instituted by Christ. The Roman Catechism defines a sacrament as a thing perceptible to the sense, which because of divine institution possesses the power both of signifying and effecting holiness and righteousness. Thus, there are three elements in the concept of sacraments: the external, that is, a sensible, perceptible sign of sanctifying grace; the conferring of sanctifying grace; the institution by God, or more accurately, by the God-man, Jesus Christ. The Council of Trent mentions only the incomplete definition, which goes back to St. Augustine. A symbol of sacred thing and a visible form of invisible grace. In the Summa, St. Thomas explains that a sacrament falls under the category of a sign. For him, an essential part of a sign is that it leads to the knowledge of another thing. For a sign is something which, beyond the form it impresses upon the senses, causes by itself something else to come to mind. The sacraments are not purely natural signs because they designate a supernatural effect on the ground of the positive ordinance of God. They are not purely conventional signs because, according to their inner composition, they are appropriate for vividly depicting inward grace. They are not merely speculative or theoretical signs, but efficacious or practical signs, as they not only indicate inner sanctification, but also efficacious. They point to the past, present, and future, commemorating the passion of Christ, signifying the grace they confer, and foretelling future glory which is merited by that grace. The Reformers, by reason of their doctrine of justification, see in the sacraments pledges of the divine promise of the forgiveness of sins by means of the awakening and strengthening of fiducial faith, which alone justify. Thus the sacraments are not means whereby grace is conferred, but means whereby faith and its consequences are stirred into action. Referring to St. Augustine, concerning the use of sacraments, they teach that the sacraments were instituted not in order to be marks of profession among men, but rather that they might be signs and testimonies of the will of God toward us, intended to excite and confirm faith in those who use them. John Calvin, a Protestant reformer, believed that the only office of the sacraments is to make God's promises visible to our eyes, or indeed to be pledges of these for us. Thus the sacraments have only a psychological and symbolic significance. The Council of Trent rejected this teaching as a heresy. Modern liberal Protestant theology regards the sacrament as mere imitations of pagan mystery cults. Modernism denies the immediate institution of the sacraments by Christ and regards them as mere symbols, which stand in the same relation to religious feeling as words do to ideas. Please go to YouTube Retirementality channel, playlists, Sacraments for the complete series of these materials.